Hello magical people, my name is Luminix, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump's first week in office, and also how I'm coping with it. So let's start off by talking a little bit about week number 1. It has been eventful. So eventful that it reminded me of something Steve Bannon said years ago, so I went and looked it up, and this is something Steve Bannon said in 2018. The Democrats don't matter. The real opposition is the media, and the way to deal with them is to flood the zone with shit. And oh boy, do I feel like that is a great way to describe what the last week has been like, because it has felt like an absolute shitstorm. And rather than going into detail about the vast number of things, because I do want to keep this video watchably short, I'm instead just going to sort of bullet point some, by no means all, but some of the things that I just noted down as I was hearing about them and reading about them happen over the last week. So, obviously, we have a slew of executive orders, most of them pretty terrible. I did go over the Defending Women one last week, and that one was just anti-trans bigotry, and of course, the anti-trans rhetoric has stepped up. Now, trans people have been disallowed from the military. I've heard numbers from between 8,000 to 15,000 people that's going to effect. Also there was the overturning of Biden's executive order that was rolling back and capping drug prices. So that was a good thing that the Biden administration did. That is no longer going to be the case. Let's see what else we got. We've got the oligarchy on full display, led by Elon Musk, who is doing some Nazi shit. We got the revocation of the LBJ era executive order with regards to equal employment. We've removed ourselves from the Paris Agreement, which puts us in the same category as only 3 other nations, being Iran, Libya, and Yemen. We have pulled out of the World Health Organization. Trump has made a challenge to birthright citizenship, which is part of the Constitution. Let's see, there has been a halting of reporting and publications with regards to matters of public health, i.e. bird flu, which is a pretty important thing for people to be communicating about right now, I would think. We have seen the addition of a letter to DEI. It is now known as DEI-A, and of course, DEI is bad as far as they're concerned, and so now they've been talking about how DEI-A has to go, and if you're wondering what that A is, that A is for accessibility, so they are now also going for that group of folks. 17 independent inspectors general were fired, not in accordance with the way they are supposed to be fired. Let's see. There have been removals from whitehouse.gov talking about accessibility. The Constitution is weirdly gone. The LGBTQ plus page is gone. The gun safety page is gone. The Spanish language page is gone. Let's see what else here. They canceled a suicide prevention program for vets merely because that suicide prevention program for vets also talked about LGBTQ plus folks. Let's see, there was that whole weird thing that went down with Colombia. Obviously, what's going on in Gaza is a nightmare, and the way he has talked about the real estate being so prime and isn't it a shame that we can't get all those people to go elsewhere, makes me uneasy for what is coming down the pike. Allowing ICE into churches, schools, and hospitals now, that's not cool. I don't feel like that's bad. Let's see. For all of those talking points during the election cycle about how he wasn't on board with 2025, come to find out, about 2/3 of the executive orders so far were pulled either partially or fully mirror that is what is in Project 2025. Let's see, they are revoking the working from home Obviously, the ice raids have been just a disaster, and we've heard stories even about vets with papers on them, but the ICE agents not believing those papers and thereby taking that person into custody. And so, yeah, it has just been a shit show. It has really just been a shit show. And as I mentioned in a video a little while back, knowing that this time was going to be difficult and stressful, and boy, I was not wrong there. I think it's also important to focus on a couple of things. It's really important in our personal life because, honestly, that whole list of things that I went down, there's not a whole lot that I personally can do about that. I can make calls to my representatives. There are certainly some things that we can do to shift things in small ways over time, but there's certainly no singular action that I or you can take today to fix all of the fucking horror that is going on. And that is just difficult, especially if you, like myself, happen to feel like you're a person who is obligated to stay aware of what is going on. It can be really difficult to balance all of the terrible things happening and all of the terrible things coming with not becoming just utterly black-pilled. And that isn't helpful. Like I said in a previous video, I think that, joy as an opposition tactic is something that I'm going to really try and lean into during this time. And I think also building community is something that I'm trying to lean into even more so at this time. So that's really the bulk of what I want to talk about for the rest of this video. In that what I am doing to build joy and expand my sense of community. So for myself, I gotta tell you, I am getting ready for the garden this year. And every year I go just way overboard. And every year, I'm like, maybe I won't go so overboard next year. And I decided this year, I'm just going to let myself be me. But I'm going to try and do it a little better. So, am I going a little bit overboard? Yeah, probably. But I am also trying to be more focused on it and actually just grow the things that I really, really want to actually consume. Sometimes I have definitely been caught up by the idea of growing something new that I haven't grown before, and, it's just not the most effective way to do it. So this year I'm trying to focus on things in terms of vegetables that I know I'm going to want to eat. So cucumbers, tomatoes, winter squashes, summer squashes, onions, carrots, radishes, a few more things that are on that list, melons, so still, plenty of things, but I'm trying to be a little bit more focused on it and actually do things a bit more properly. I also have a ton of flowers that I'm going to be getting, and so it's just been really joyful to me as I've been sort of going through the garden, kind of clearing out some of the, old leaves and just pulling, cutting things back and doing a little bit of pruning here and there and spreading out a layer of compost. While I've been doing all of that, it's just been kind of exciting to think about what I'm going to be doing with that space going forward. And it's also been nice. I've been doing a lot of, as I've been spreading that compost around, I've been really tending to the strawberries, which over the last few years have just really spread out in a bunch of places. So I'm expecting that it will be another good year of berries, and that is great. So I'm getting a lot of joy from both spending time actually out being in the yard, and of course that also gives me an opportunity to hang out with my squirrely and my crow friends, so that makes me happy. But also it's giving me opportunities to think about what I want to do in the more short-term, near future 6 to 9 months with that space, and that's always exciting to think about too. Also, as I've mentioned before, I'm, with regards to building community, in addition to the just lovely, vibrant, wonderful community that I'm already a part of, I've also been, over the last 10 months now, I guess it is, on the sort of year-long journey of becoming a fully professed Sister of Perpetual Indulgence, and that whole process continues to delight and challenge and intrigue me and give me opportunities to like I said, just create more of an expanded sense of the community that I am a part of, and being also in service of that community. And so I'm really getting a lot of joy from that as well. I'm also, trying to maintain doing the things that I pretty much have sort of a longer habit of doing. So like going dancing, and I've been super blessed so far towards the end of 2024 and into 2025 that pretty much almost every Saturday night has been filled with great dancing, and so I'm grateful for that, and for just to get the opportunity to move my body and get a little bit of bass therapy. And also, I've got a birthday coming up. I'm going to be 50 in mid-February, and so 50 is, it's kind of a big round number, so it seems like, if ever there's an opportunity when maybe I should take a chance to celebrate myself and invite people into that celebration with me, then this is it. So I've been doing a lot of spending time and thinking about how I want to spend my birthday weekend, and I've got a couple of friends coming into town, as well as a bunch of friends who are, live here in town, and so there's going to be dinner and a burlesque show on one night, and hopefully there will be either dancing or a little bit of a house party on one night, and then maybe just, a chill day if people have different schedules. So I wanted to give a variety of things, spending time doing things that I want to be doing anyhow to celebrate my own life and my journey in it thus far, but also inviting people that I love along for the ride. So, so I've been really having kind of fun letting myself, letting my inner child self feel like she wants to get excited about having a birthday party. So that has been kind of fun and, kind of sweet and tender in a way to lean into that for me. So the world is a shit show. But at the same time, I'm feeling very good about my life. I'm feeling very happy with my life. I will also say that overall my sense of anxiety is still definitely heightened, and I am using medication and working with a psychiatrist to help manage that a little bit better, and I feel like I have the management plan is working. I am managing it and doing all right. And so yeah, doing my best to stay balanced. And I wonder what you're doing. If you're a person who is politically aligned with me, and I know there's at least a few of you who watch my videos who are not, but if you are a person who's politically aligned with me and feels that this time has just been very dark and very scary, and it's just been a real onslaught of chaos and bad news, what are you doing to help bring joy and perhaps expanding yourself, expanding into your community, creating new community, finding new community? What are the things that you're doing to try and keep yourself balanced, to kind of be the light in your own life, especially when it feels like there's so much darkness? I'd be curious to hear. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. And otherwise, I don't know if this is going to be a new format where maybe I just talk about terrible things that are happening in the news for a few minutes and then tell you about what new plants I'm excited about. I don't know. It's, whatever. It's all a journey. Aside of me, there's usually only one or two other people who like my videos, and not very many more of you than watch it. So I feel like at this point, I should just be doing what I want to do and talking about what I want to talk about, and hopefully people will find me. And yeah, hopefully you're one of those people. And if you are, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to like this video. It certainly doesn't hurt. And until next time, of course, don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourself. And I will see you soon.